His black cap with a white front panel. And Joey Loperfido leading off. Royal blue jerseys, gray pants for the Blue Jays to counter the all-whites. Kramer winds and delivers. And the first pitch of the day is high and outside. Ball one. Time of the first pitch, 12:36 Eastern. Blue Jays looking to rebound after 3 straight losses to the Orioles, 4 losses overall. Right on left, the pitch. Outside again at 93. 2 balls and no strikes. It's 34 degrees in Baltimore. Humidity at 55%. Feels more like 36, 37. The 2-0. Check swing. Breaking ball misses downstairs. Peel down to third base, and it's no swing, so it's 3-0.
I'm sure the Blue Jays are very excited to hop on that plane after this ball game and get back to an air-conditioned Rogers Center.
Yeah, it's been a real interesting trip. Not the best series in Baltimore. 3-0 pitch on the corner for a strike, 3-1. And never the most comfortable ballpark to play in, with the mix of unpredictable weather and heat in Baltimore. 3-1 count to Loperfido. The pitch. Swing and a liner down in right center, a base hit. Moving over into the right center gap. It's picked up by Mullins. He'll toss it back into the infield. And Joey Loperfido doing a good job in the leadoff spot. Comes up with a first inning single.
I mean, he's been really, really good. Putting together a great stretch here over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Just rips that baseball back up the middle. I mean, this is an important game for the Toronto Blue Jays. So it's good to see him lead off with a base hit, get on base with nobody out in this inning.
Now Ernie Clement to the plate from the stretch. Kramer deals. And it's a cutter for strike one. Full mix for Dean Kramer is a 4-seamer, cutter, splitter, sinker, and curveball. Righty on the first base side. Rocks and offers. And a cutter's hit foul off the end of the bat, rolling to the first base dugout, 0-2.
Relatively average stuff out of that right arm from Dean Kramer. He's not going to overpower you. He'll get up to 95 with that fastball, but like you said, sits around 93. He's a guy that has to locate to have success.
Here's 0-2. Lifted high in the air to right field. Moving forward, Dylan Carlson reels it in with one hand, and there's one out. No score, Loperfido on first. We're in the first inning, brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong, feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up to the plate for the Blue Jays. In Game 2 yesterday, Vladdy was left on deck to end the game with the tying run on third base in the 9th inning. The pitch. Hit back foul, 0-1. Vladdy steps out of the box, adjusts his blue and red batting gloves as he looks down to Carlos Fabulous, the third base coach. Loperfido taking his lead, held on at first by O'Hearn. Holiday plays up the middle, the second baseman, so a lot of space on the right side. 0-1. Down and in, Vladdy stiffened up his left leg, getting out of the way of that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That was an easy take for Vlad. Pretty confident with that fastball inside. It was actually a pretty good sinker. Had a lot of downward action to it at 92 miles an hour off the plate inside.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good splitter. First we've seen from Kramer. Started right down the middle, dropped still in the zone, but just below the bat. 1-2. Kramer licks his fingers, wipes them on the back of his pants, flips the ball out of his glove into his bare right hand. But as he looked home, he saw Vlad had asked for time and stepped back out. So Kramer steps off the back of the rubber. Holliday has moved more to traditional second base now with 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. 94 on the outside edge. Good pitch, good coverage by Vlad to spin it back into the netting.
You mentioned Dean Kramer's from Stockton, California. Stockton, California is one of the hottest places I've ever been to, so you can imagine that Kramer is probably used to this type of heat. Have you ever been to Stockton?
I have not.
They have a high A baseball team, and it's every single day is exactly like this.
The 1-2. Hit on the ground toward third. Moving to the line. It's picked up Westberg. Throws to second one. Holliday to first, not in time. A fielder's choice. Guerrero replaces Loperfido at first, and now 2 outs.
That was a slow roller to third base. So right off the bat, I didn't think that the Baltimore Orioles had a chance to turn 2 there. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. doing a good job running hard down the first base line. Pretty good turn from Jordan Westberg, though. Getting that ball to second base quickly.
Yeah, I wasn't sure they had a chance to get a pretty quick Joey Loperfido going first to second. But Westberg got the throw there in time. Now 2 outs, and with Vladdy leading off first, here's Bo Bichette. Shortstop hitting .292 on the year. Kramer's pitch. Splitter for a strike, top of the zone to make it 0-1. Stockton's Dean Kramer went to San Joaquin Delta College in Stockton before transferring to Division I UNLV, Nevada, Las Vegas.
So he went from hot to hot.
Yeah. And then he got drafted by the Dodgers. Yeah. But he was traded after being a Dodgers 14th rounder in 2016, traded in 2018 as part of the prospect haul for Manny Machado going to the Dodgers for half a season. His 0-1. Swing and a high fly ball, right field, pretty shallow. Near the line, racing in, Dylan Carlson makes a one-handed grab, and that does it for the top of the first. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. No score in the game, Blue Jays and Orioles. Going to the bottom of the first.
The club.
Inning in a scoreless game between the Blue Jays and Orioles, and Jose Barrios on the mound. His pitch to Jackson Holliday, inside, ball 1. 23rd start of the year for the Puerto Rican right-hander Barrios. 31-year-old is 7-4 with a 3.83 earned run average. His 1-0. Fastball lifted to center, charging forward, Straw pulls up, and takes it on a hop. It's a base hit for Holiday. Straw thought about a dive, but decided last second to take it on a bounce and limit Holiday to a single.
Yeah, that was actually a smart decision for Miles Straw. He was leaning forward. He was really close to trying to dive for that baseball. But if that baseball gets past him, you can bet that Jackson Holiday ends up at third base with nobody out. Smart decision from him out in center field.
So runner on, Jordan Westberg to the plate. Barrios looks to first, now deals. Pitch inside, ball one. Sinker, slurve, four-seamer, changeup, and cutter for Jose Barrios. His sinker typically sits around 92, although his velocity has fluctuated recently. 1-0. Swing and a miss at a tight slurve, breaking away, 1-1.
That'll be another important pitch for him today. Along with the changeup, that slurve needs to be tight, needs to have downward action. That first one was pretty good.
The kick and the 1-1. Lifted high in the air, shallow right center. Clement sprinting back from second, over the shoulder grab, turning to the right last moment to adjust. He makes the play, a tough play to avoid a bloop single, and a smiling Ernie Clement jogs back into the infield, 1 out.
That was a great play from Ernie Clement. We talked about how good he was yesterday, not only at second base, but pretty much all over the diamond. Ernie Clement playing second base in this ball game makes that play relatively easily. Beautiful catch over the shoulder.
Big first out of the outing, and the pitch to Gunnar Henderson. No, it's a step-off throw to first. Jackson Holiday back in without a slide. Holiday is a threat to run, although his decision-making on when to run has been spotty. He's swiped 10 bags, but he's been caught 8 times.
That's not a good ratio.
It is not. Pitch to Henderson. Slurve just off the plate, down and away, ball 1. Home plate umpire in this game is Vic Carapazza. Brian Walsh at first with Mark Ripperger at second and Nick Marley at third. 1-0. Slurve hit hard on a hop to second. Clement spins as he picks it up and throws it away, trying to go to second base. All the way around to third goes Holiday as the ball sails into left. Into second is Gunnar Henderson on a Clement error, and it's second and third, 1 out.
That's a tough play. You make that play going into the hole on the right side of that infield, and you're moving away from second base as you're falling backwards, trying to make a perfect throw to Bo Bichette. A really tough throw. I probably would have tried to make that throw, but at the same time, you have to get the sure out, and the sure out was at first base.
Blue Jays defense maybe has not quite been where it usually is last 4 or 5 games. First pitch to Adley Rutschman, right down the middle, strike 1. That goes as a fielder's choice, by the way, for Henderson, and then an error advancing Henderson to second and giving Holiday third base. Third baseman Barger plays in, everyone else back. No score, bottom 1. The pitch. Outside with a changeup, 1 ball and 1 strike. Adley Rutschman had the crucial double in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. Knocked in Henderson in the 8th. Orioles won 3-2. The pitch, swing and a miss. Elevates a cutter and gets a whiff from Rutschman, a switch hitter batting left. It's 1-2.
And your goal here is to strike out Adley Rutschman. You have 2 strikes on him. You have 2 big runs. Standing at second and third with just 1 out.
Rutschman DHing today. Sets up in the lefty box, open stance. The 1-2. Hit on the ground, foul, right side. Ali Sanchez pumping the glove out to Jose Barrios. That was a cutter that ran in off the plate. Only place that Rutschman could hit it was to the pull side foul. Second and third, 1 out. And another 1-2 pitch. Outside with a changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rutschman has not budged at either of the changeups thrown in this at-bat.
No, that one was just a little bit of a floater. You could see the eyes following that pitch all the way in, bending at the knees. A good take from Rutschman.
2-2. In the dirt with a slurve. Bounced it just in front of home plate. Ball 3. There has been a tough run of late for Jose Barrios, his last start notwithstanding. If you look at his last 8 starts, he's pitched to an ERA of about 4 2/3 in that time, 4.67. Barrios is going to step off the hill. He's having a pitch comm issue, I believe, but it seems to be settled now with a full count, 1 out, and runners on second and third. Barrios set at the belt. And the 3-2. Check swing liner foul. Keeps this at bat going. That's a big break for Barrios. That pitch was off the plate, high and outside. Rutschman tried to hold up, but it got the end of his two-tone bat.
Yeah, Barrios missed that spot by quite a bit. You could see Ollie Sanchez setting up inside, almost at the hands of Adley Rutschman. And like you mentioned, he missed arm side high by quite a bit.
Another 3-2. Fouled off of the home plate umpire's foot. Carapazza got that in the right foot. Sanchez twisted around to check on him. And it looks like Vic Carapazza's all right. They get Barrios a new baseball, and they'll do it again for a third straight time at 3-2. Adley Rutschman DHing in this game, hitting .235 on the year. OPS is slightly above 700. 12 doubles, 8 homers in 70 games. Barrios looking in, kicks and deals. Slurve hit foul off to the left.
That was a good one right there. Started on the outside part of the plate, broke inside underneath the bat of Adley Rutschman. He did a good job just fouling that pitch off, staying alive in the at-bat. Jose Barrios has now thrown 16 pitches in this inning.
He's given him every pitch in his arsenal through 9 to Adley Rutschman. Here's the 10th pitch. And it's hit high in the air, out to center, sprinting back Straw, curling near the warning track, catches it on the dirt. Tagging from third base, scoring easily is Holiday. Tagging from second and advancing to third, Henderson. 1-0 Orioles on a first-inning sac fly.
Well, that was a very hittable fastball, and Adley Rutschman gave it a drive to center field. So if you're Jose Barrios, you take that, you get an out, you give up just 1 run. That was about 5 feet from that wall in center field. Off the bat, I thought Adley Rutschman got that baseball.
I think Adley Rutschman might have thought he got that baseball. High finish, watched it for a moment. But it's pretty deep to left center. About 410 in straightaway center, Camden Yards. The pitch to Ryan O'Hearn is a slurve on the outside edge, strike 1. So 1-0 Orioles, bottom of the first. A hit, an error, and a sac fly have contributed to the Orioles taking the lead. Right on left matchup, the pitch. Fastball on the edge, inside edge for a strike, 0-2.
He'll have to locate that fastball inside, especially with 7 left-handed hitters in this lineup. 5 lefties, 2 switch hitters. It's going to be a very important location, a very important pitch for Jose Barrios in this ballgame.
Runner on third, 2 outs. Barrios nods, takes a breath, and sets at his belt. His 0-2. Slurve down low. O'Hearn thought about it, slightly twitching his hands, but took it for ball 1. O'Hearn was a big part of the Orioles' win last night in the second game. Tripled in a run and scored himself in a 2-run fourth. 1-2. Check swing on a changeup down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He was about 2 inches from hitting a homer.
Yeah. Has 12 homers on the year, 15 doubles. O'Hearn, a .283 batter with an .830 OPS. Speculating, but I would say more than likely playing his final game as a Baltimore Oriole.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I'd want him in on my team if I had the choice.
2-2 pitch. Fastball crushed out to right field and deep. That ball is parking itself on Utah Street. A 2-run homer for O'Hearn. 3-0 Orioles in the bottom of the first as they blitz another Blue Jays starting pitcher early on.
And that was just a mislocation again for Jose Barrios. It was supposed to be a fastball down and away, and it missed on the inner third, and that's Ryan O'Hearn's happy place, at least over the last couple of years when he's been crushing baseballs. And if you needed proof that he'll be a good addition to your team going forward, that's it right there.
His 13th of the season, a no-doubt shot over the tall wall in right field. O'Hearn with a Pirate hat on takes a drink out of the water fountain at the end of the dugout, and the first pitch to Colton Cowser is hit foul, 0-1.
I don't know how you feel about this, but it feels like this Baltimore Orioles, at least the offense, has found something over the last 4 games.
Oh, one pitch called a strike, 0-2. I mean, they scored 16 runs in Game 2 of the series, 11 in Game 1, and they had 18 on the weekend against Colorado. They're doing something right for sure. 0-2 to Cowser. Swing and a miss, he got him. Strikes out Cowser on 3 pitches, but the damage already done in the first inning. The Orioles score 3 runs on 2 hits. An error helps them out. They don't leave anyone on as they lead 3-0.
Take it.
Low with a fastball, ball 1. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. For the 3rd time in 4 games in Baltimore, Blue Jays trying to dig out of an early hole. 1-0. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. Barger with 2 hits in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday, a home run in the first game. 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3.
That's a good take. Not a bad pitch from Dean Kramer. Pretty good sinker just off the plate outside.
And the 3-0. Down the middle for a strike. Barger taken all the way. It's 3-1. Bearded righty Kramer steps back, kicks and offers. And Barger takes outside a 5-pitch walk to start the top of the second.
That was an easy walk for Addison Barger. That's just what the Blue Jays offense needed right there. Get the leadoff guy on, see if he can get to second base with less than 2 outs here.
In the Blue Jays' 4-game losing streak, they have not scored more than 4 runs in any of those games. Down 3-0 right now. Pitch to Davis Schneider. Called strike, 0-1. Although they scored 4 in each of the first 3, the kind of sick joke was yesterday in the second game, 4 would have won them the game. That was the day they scored 2 and lost 3-2 to the Orioles with an 8th inning double from Rutschman. 0-1 to Schneider. Called strike, bent the knee and took a breaking ball over the middle. 0-2. Schneider getting a handful of starts against right-handed pitchers. With a couple guys out right now for the Blue Jays, has started more games than not so far in this series. 0-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, sharply foul. Third base side. That was a sinker right down the middle. Schneider a little out in front.
I actually like this matchup for Davis Schneider. I know that he's not as good against righties as he is against lefties, but Dean Kramer, like I mentioned earlier, doesn't have overpowering stuff. Let's see if Davis Schneider can get one over the heart of the plate here.
Schneider stands tall in his stance, hands way off of his chest, waving the bat in the air. 0-2. Bounced it, picked on the backhanded side by Alex Jackson, the catcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Schneider steps out, looks down to third base to Carlos Fabulous, and now steps back over the chalk into the righty box. Runner on first, Barger. No outs, top of the second. 3-0 for the Orioles. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Schneider down to a knee as he waved early at that cutter that broke across the plate away. And that's the first Dean Kramer strikeout of the game.
That was actually a really nice cutter. Had more slider action to it. Big break, tight spin. Looked like a strike right down the middle. Davis Schneider was well out in front of it.
Will Wagner to the plate. The first pitch is high with the splitter. Ball 1. Blue Jays are very familiar with Dean Kramer. This is the 13th time he faces them and the 12th time he starts against them in his career, all from 2021 to this season. 1-0. Low, 2-0. He's certainly had some quality outings against them, but on the whole, the Blue Jays have gotten the better of Kramer, who sports a 5.14 ERA against Toronto in over 60 innings pitched. 2-0 to Wagner. On the outside edge for a strike. Jackson might have helped it a little bit. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, the only thing to say about that is a lot of the guys who have faced Kramer a lot for the Blue Jays are no longer with the team. Vlad and Bo have a ton, so has Springer, but no one else has faced him more than 5 times. 2-1. Hit back foul, 2-2.
The interesting thing is, though, now with that traject machine, everybody in this lineup has faced Dean Kramer a million times.
Right. I'll have to talk more to Caleb Joseph about that, who can't stop talking about hitting off the traject, by the way. Runner on first, 2-2. Hit in the air, left center field. Mullins in a sprint, reaches out and makes the grab in the gap on the run. Nice play by Cedric Mullins. Barger back to first base after he had gone almost all the way to second. There are 2 outs.
Dean Kramer got away with one right there. That was a fastball right down the middle. Ran in just a little bit on the hands of Will Wagner. Kind of a lazy fly ball out to left center. Cedric Mullins with an easy running catch.
So after the leadoff walk, 2 quick outs for Kramer. Strikeout and fly up. 3-0 Baltimore. 2 outs top of the second, and Miles Straw's up. The pitch. Low with a cutter, ball 1. The reason I want to talk to Caleb more, I want to know the exchange rate. Is 1 traject at-bat worth 1 at-bat actually seeing the guy? I'd imagine it's not an even 1-for-1, but you could face him 100 times in the cage. 1-0. On the corner with a fastball for a strike.
It's probably not 1-for-1, but I can almost guarantee that it's better than nothing.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's better than the Iron Mike. It's better than just the 2-wheel pitching machine.
It's better than your coach throwing you BP.
For sure. 1-1. Swing and a miss at a cutter. That makes it 1-2. Kramer looking down to the mound, pondering his next move. Ahead of Miles Straw, ball and 2 strikes with Barger on first and 2 outs in the top of the second. Righty twists back and deals and misses down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A Another hot day in Baltimore. Kramer took his left hand out of his glove, wiped it on his pants, slipped it back in. Ball behind his back. He puts his hands together now at the belt. The 2-2. Outside with a curveball. Big movement on the 78-mile-an-hour breaker. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right side of the infield vacant. Archer being held on at first by Ryan O'Hearn. 3-2. Grounded foul, third base side, just wide of the bag.
Miles Straw helped out Dean Kramer a little bit there. That was a sinker that was well off the plate inside. Pretty good movement, so I understand trying to fight that pitch off and stay alive, but ended up well out of that strike zone.
Straw taps the plate with his black bat, turns it out toward the field, and now twists it around to his right shoulder. Archer off on the pitch. Here it is. And it's hit foul again. That was a fastball low in the zone, and Straw hit it back and off to the right into the seats.
That pitch count of Kramer creeping up just a little bit. Now at 37 pitches here in the top of the second inning with 2 outs.
Blue Jays have 1 hit and 1 walk against the righties so far, trailing 3-0. Another 3-2. Hit high in the air, left field and deep. Moving back, Cowser reaching for the fence. It's out of here. Miles Straw with a 2-run homer, his second of the season, and the Blue Jays right back in it, trailing 3-2 in the top of the second inning.
Well, how about that at bat from Miles Straw? He fouled off some tough pitches, stayed alive, and then he got his mistake almost right down the middle. He barrels that thing up, a big smile on his face as he crosses home plate. It's got to feel good for him. Doesn't get many of those.
Straw putting on the jacket. He hit his first home run as a Blue Jay early in the season at Rogers Center, so his first in a while, a big one. A nice response to the O'Hearn 3-run shot in the first. Here's Ali Sanchez. Kramer winds and offers. Called strike.
Blue Jays really needed that hit. That was a big-time hit for Miles Straw.
Yeah, we're not in the dugout, but from the outside, felt like there was a here we go again feeling when O'Hearn hit that homer. Next pitch down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Kramer with a breath, and the 1-1. Called strike, 94 at the knees. Little bit of cut to that 4-seam fastball. It's 1-2. Sanchez got the start in game 1 yesterday, went 1 for 4 with a double. Smoked another ball that got caught against the wall. That one was hit to left field in the 6th of game 1 yesterday. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, he got him. Elevates 94 to strike out Sanchez, but not before Miles Straw comes up with a 2-run homer. 2 runs on 1 hit for the Blue Jays, none left. A 3-2 game in favor of Baltimore, middle of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown. the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Big home run by Miles Straw in the top of the second. And as we start the last of the second, the Blue Jays only trail by one. 3-2 for the Orioles, with the bottom third of Baltimore's order hitting this inning. Jose Barrios directing the right side of his defense as left-handed hitter Cedric Mullins digs in to start the frame. Right-hander with a breath. Barrios deals. First pitch heater at 90, strike one.
That's a good start to this inning. It's Jose Barrios' job this inning after the Blue Jays got those 2 runs to pound that strike zone and get his offense back into that dugout as quickly as possible.
0-1 pitch hit on the ground, foul, 0-2. Mullins raking recently, 8 for 19 in his last 6 games. He's got 15 homers on the year. 0-2. Hit on the ground toward first. A high hopper fielded on the backhand side by Will Wagner. Right-handed first baseman goes to the bag. 1 out. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue, hosting and producing this game. Show Ali. Technical directors are Austin Mackey and Derek Brandeo.
By the way you said that, it sounded like I was hosting and producing this game as well.
You are not. I'll let people know. We're both one-trick ponies. We can't do the multitasking show Ali can. 1 out pitch to Dylan Carlson. Fouled back into the brick backstop, 0-1. Carlson, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Plays all 3 outfield spots. Today he's starting in right. Outside with a changeup. Pitch he hasn't quite controlled yet. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A little bit of a floater there. Pretty much every changeup he's thrown in this ball game has been floating through that zone. You need to get on top of that pitch so it can have that downward action.
1-1. Fastball lifted to left. Ranging back Davis Schneider. Plenty of space with that deep wall. He makes a one-handed catch about 15 feet in front of the warning track. And there are 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
And the most important thing is 2 quick outs. Especially on a hot day, you don't want your defense being out there too long.
There's been a lot of long offensive Orioles innings in this series, followed by quick Blue Jays offensive innings. And games have really snowballed on them, losing all 3 in this series and 4 in a row overall. 2 outs, bases empty. 3-2 Orioles, bottom of the second, and the pitch to Alex Jackson. Swing and a miss. Tight slurve lands on the outside corner, 0-1.
Are we going to play guess the attendance, or we don't do that?
We never do that when they're on the road. 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
It would be interesting to do it today.
Well, 16,000 and 14,000 yesterday. I don't think there's more people there today. That's what I'll say. 1-1. Hit off the end of the bat on the ground, foul, first base side. Everyone watched it. It was close to the line, but never turned back fair. 1-2.
Yeah, it was one of those foul balls that could spin back into fair territory. Fortunately for Jose Barrios, it didn't.
One ball and 2 strikes, right on right matchup. Barrios trying to end the bottom of the second. His pitch. Slurve in the dirt. Check swing by Jackson, but he held up enough that you don't even need to appeal. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mustached catcher awaits a 2-2. Here it comes. And it's hit foul off to the right. Sinker broke way in. Could have maybe even hit Jackson if he didn't swing. He somehow got the handle of the bat to it and flipped it into the first base dugout.
That's an important pitch because he's now establishing the inside part of the plate. And that sinker right there had probably more movement than any sinker he's thrown in this ballgame so far.
2-2 again. Hit back foul. A 4-seamer right down Broadway. They were looking to go up with it. Missed over the middle, but Jackson just missed it to foul it back. Alex Jackson playing in his 15th game of the season, all with the Orioles after being dealt over from the Yankees. 7 for 30 on the year, 4 doubles, 3 homers. 2-2. Grounded toward third base, backing up, Barger backhands it, tosses across the diamond to first, and ends the inning. Nothing across for the Orioles in the bottom of the second. Baltimore leads 3-2 going to the third inning. You're listening to Blue Jays.
Let's see if we can figure out the following base.
Adjusting his grip on the bat. 2 taps of the plate, and he looks out to Dean Kramer in a 3-2 game in favor of the Orioles, beginning the top of the third inning. Kramer winds and delivers home. First pitch hit foul, 0-1. We're in the third inning, which is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Prince George, BC and Calgary, Alberta. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. 0-1 splitter in the dirt evens the count. Loperfido never budged. It's 1-1. A single to center in the first inning. Loperfido's 1 for 1. The 1-1 pitch. High and outside. Blue Jays missing some key bats. They give Loperfido the opportunity to hit at the top of the order. Not a spot we've seen him in very much in his Blue Jay career. 2-1 pitch. Called strike, just clipped the outside edge. And it's 2-2.
A lot of guys try to do too much when they get moved up in the order, when they lead off like Joey Loperfido is today, but it seems like he's not changing anything in terms of that approach, which is nice to see.
2-2 count. Kramer looking in at Loperfido. Shakes off a sign, nods, winds, and delivers. Swing and a miss, he got him. Splitter floated up there, but just darted under the bat of Loperfido. A strikeout for Kramer, his third so far. 1 out in the third inning.
Well, that wasn't a great pitch from Dean Kramer. Like you said, it was just a floater at the top of that strike zone. I'm sure Joey Loperfido's eyes got big when he saw that beach ball coming in about belt high, and he just missed it.
Pitch to Ernie Clement. Breaking ball hit the top of the zone for a strike, 0-1. 3-2 Orioles, top of the third. No one on base for Ernie with 1 out. 0-1. Lifted back foul, 0-2. July's been a tough month for Ernie Clement, trying to break out of a slump in this month. After being comfortably in the 300s at one point, he's a 277 hitter right now. 0-2. Called, strike three. 94 painted on the outside corner. A 3-pitch strikeout and 2 quick outs in the top of the third.
That might have been Dean Kramer's best pitch of the ball game. 94 with that fastball. A lot of sink. Just clips the outside part of that plate.
4 strikeouts now for Kramer, and 3 in a row going back to his Ali Sanchez strikeout to end the top of the second. His pitch to Vladdy. Called strike with a curve. Lands on the outside corner, 0-1. 51 pitches now for Dean Kramer, who's allowed 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. Shakes a sign, shakes another. Slight nod in the 0-1. Fastball at the knees at 95, 0-2.
Seems like he's found that release point on that fastball to right-handed hitters.
Looking to strike out the side in the third inning. Kramer stares into his catcher, Alex Jackson. 2-strike pitch. Down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dean Kramer has faced Vladimir Guerrero Jr. more than anyone in his big league career. Vladdy 11 for 32 against the right-handed starter. 5 homers. 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kramer has allowed the most homers in his career to Vlad, and Vlad has hit more homers against Kramer than any other pitcher he's faced. 2-2. Hit high in the air, left center field and deep. Sprinting back Mullins. That ball one-hops into the fence. Vladdy around first, digging for second with a 2-out stand-up double.
Well, how about that swing from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. right on cue, too. He's had a lot of success against Dean Kramer, and he ripped that fastball. I thought that had a chance, had a lot of backspin on it. Just didn't get under it enough. One hops that wall out in left center. He ends up at second base with 2 outs in this inning.
For Vlad, his 24th double of the season, and a game after he lost his 11-game hit streak, he starts a new one with the double. In scoring position for Bo Bichette, 2 outs. 3-2 Orioles, and the pitch from Kramer. Hit back foul, 0-1. Bo has had mixed results against Kramer. After a flyout in the first, he's 7 for 26 against him, all singles. He has walked 5 times against Dean Kramer. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bichette adjusts the elbow guard on his lead left arm, brings his hands up, even with his right shoulder. Now rests the bat on that shoulder. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Following a really hot Sunday and Monday, Bichette had 1 hit across the 2 games of the doubleheader yesterday. 2-1 pitch. Hit foul, fastball down the middle, a little behind it, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit post-game, but it seemed to me like Bo Bichette was just a little bit fatigued. He was behind on some fastballs that over the course of this streak he's been right on. But hopefully he's feeling okay today.
Guerrero taking a big lead off second. No middle infielder close to him, and now Kramer will step off before coming set. 3-2 Orioles, 2 outs, top of the third inning. Kramer set, looks to second, and the 2-2. Bounce softly right side just past the mound. Charging in from second, Holiday Gloves throws on to first, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, a 2-out double from Vlad. He's left on second base, and it is 3-2 Orioles, middle of...
Oh, the big...
material and know-how to make sure you have all your bases covered. TimberMart, Canada's building center. First pitch of the home half of the third misses inside to Jackson Holliday. Top of the order for the Orioles, who lead 3-2 over the Blue Jays in Game 4 of this series. Berrios looks to the plate, kicks and deals. And the pitch is on the corner at 89 on his fastball, 1-1. In the TimberMart broadcast booth, I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Holliday singled up the middle in the first and scored. 1-1. Hit on the ground, foul, bounced into the left hip of the batter Holliday, 1-2. We haven't mentioned this yet in this series, but there is now another Holliday in professional baseball. Ethan Holliday, the 4th overall pick by the Colorado Rockies in the 2025 draft out of high school. '21-year-old Jackson bats left. Shade covering the diamond, the 1-2. Lifted in the air, left field, medium depth. Schneider over toward left center to make a one-handed catch, 1 out.
And I believe that Ethan Holliday, who was the 4th overall pick, like you said, signed for more money than Jackson Holliday did, who was the 1st overall pick. I think. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it went.
So here's what I can tell you for sure. Ethan had a $9 million overslot signing bonus, got the largest signing bonus of the 2025 draft,
right,
even though he went 4th,
right,
higher than the first 3 picks. I can get you that information in a second. Pitch to Jordan Westburg, swing and a miss at a good changeup. Best of the day so far for Berrios. Landed at the knees, 0-1.
Either way, though, great genetics.
Seriously.
Or great coaching, but probably great genetics.
Yeah, Ethan outsigned Jackson 0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Rockies, they went pretty far over slot to ensure that they got Ethan Holliday. Obviously, they have a big history with the Holliday family. 1-1 to Westburg. Low, 2-1.
And I'm also pretty sure that Ethan Holliday was the number 1 prospect in the draft.
A lot of people thought he might go 1st overall. In baseball, it's never as simple
right,
as the best player going 1st overall because of pre-draft signing agreements, bonuses, etc. Next pitch in the dirt, 3-1. And it's also, what are you looking for? Is a certain team looking for a high school bat, or they're looking for a pitcher? Now, a different high school bat went 1st overall. The Nats decided to go in another direction. 1 out, bottom 3, the 3-1. Hit foul down the left field line. A sinker in on the hands of Westburg, a right-handed hitter. It's 3-2.
Generally speaking, with the Major League Draft, it's just best player available. Sometimes you get a certain team that prefers high school prospects, or you get a certain team that prefers college prospects, but generally speaking, it's just best available. It's not like football where if you have a quarterback, you're not drafting a quarterback.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Went back to the change. It dropped out of the zone, down and in, and got the whiff from Westburg. 2 outs on Berrios' 2nd strikeout at the start.
That was a great pitch. Right on right changeup. That's another pitch that he'll have to throw today to have some success with all the lefties in the lineup, with his fastball velocity, with his fastball movement on that sinker not being what it normally is.
2 outs, pitch to Gunnar Henderson is a slurve, line toward right, sinking in down just over the head of Clement and in front of Loperfido. Not the hardest contact, but a hit nonetheless for Gunnar Henderson, who's aboard with 2 outs.
Yeah, it seemed like Jose Berrios was just trying to sneak a strike in there, a little backdoor slurve. Gunnar Henderson didn't hit it very hard. He got it off the end of the bat, but that's a base hit nonetheless.
Berrios probably got away with a pitch there in terms of Henderson not doing even more damage. That pitch landed right down the middle. So Adley Rutschman is up. 2 outs, runner on first, bottom of the 3rd. Switch hitter hits left. The pitch. Fastball lifted high over the infield. Middle of the diamond, Ernie Clement, the second baseman, moves forward and makes the catch just before the infield grass. That ends the inning. Another scoreless frame for Jose Berrios around a 2-out single. 1 left for the Orioles. 3-2 Baltimore, though.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball.
Barger walked on 5 pitches in the second and came in to score on the Miles Straw homer, responsible for both Blue Jays runs in the game. 0-1. Outside, a check swing from Barger on a splitter that ran more side to side than north to south. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. Barger with a big rip on a better splitter that dropped below his bat, 1-2.
Good arm speed on that splitter, too. A little bit of a hanger, a little bit of a floater, but it just looked like a fastball.
Kramer has probably avoided damage on a couple pitches hung or left over the middle. There's 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Barger expands on a splitter a couple balls outside, and Kramer has a 5th strikeout already.
A little bit of disappointment on the face of Addison Barger. That's usually a pitch that he wouldn't swing at. That was a ball out of the hand, and then just continued to run even further away off the plate.
This is a real test, this stretch right now, for Blue Jays players and everyone around the team. Davis Schneider up to the plate, 0 for 1. And the pitch. Up and in, ball 1. And they're going to call that a foul tip, I think. Home plate umpire Vic Carapazza just made a foul tip signal, brushing the top of his left hand with his right. Now the Blue Jays are checking to see if that hit Davis Schneider, if there's something they want to review here. And they're not going to review it. I believe it's an 0-1 count. Saw a replay. Not really sure if that hit anything, to be honest. Maybe just glanced off the knob. The 0-1. Check swing, pitch was high. Peel down to first base, no swing. It's 1-1. What I mean by the test is we've heard a lot about how good the chemistry is this year. Everyone pulling in the right direction. Those things tend to be easy, and John Schneider has acknowledged this when you're winning games. Chemistry is almost always good when you're winning. 1-1. Called strike, 1-2. Guys almost always buy in to their roles and what they're doing when you're winning. What happens when you lose 4 games in a row? What happens when a team gets a little closer to you in the division? To me, that's when chemistry and team approach is really tested. 1-2. Swing and a fly ball, center field. Schneider a little under it, circling around it in deep left center, a catch made by Mullins, 2 outs.
And all of this has happened really quickly, too. The Blue Jays lost 3 games in a row over the span of 24 hours. Doesn't happen very often, so you can imagine what that clubhouse feels like. But I think that they have some pretty good characters in that clubhouse, guys that can keep the chemistry together, keep the bond that they have. And I'm thinking specifically of George Springer.
2 outs pitched to Will Wagner. Outside, ball 1. We're in the 4th inning. It's presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1-0 offering. High, ball 2. Can get to some updates on Springer and others injured for the Blue Jays pretty soon, probably bottom of the 4th, with 2 outs in this inning and no one on. 2-0 pitch. Wagner takes outside, ball 3. It should be noted that these losses have come with no Kirk, for a lot of it, no Springer. And of course, for a while, the Blue Jays have been without Varsho, Santander, Jimenez, 3-0. Called strike, 3-1. Sandlin, Jimmy Garcia, and others. 3-1 pitch from Dean Kramer. Down and away, ball 4. For Kramer, his 2nd walk of this game. And Will Wagner aboard for the first time.
Well, this is what they did in the last inning. Miles Straw came up with a runner on, and he hit that good home run to left field against Dean Kramer.
Straw hit a fastball out to left center for his 2nd home run of the season. That's why the game is 3-2 for the Orioles right now in the 4th. The pitch. Called strike. Next one for Kramer will be his 75th of the game. He's thrown 47 strikes in 74 pitches. He kicks and deals. Pitch poked out toward right field. Moving forward, Carlson was playing shallow, so he makes a running catch just in a jog, and that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, one left for the Blue Jays in the top of the fourth. Still 3-2 for the Orioles. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Controls.
Great.
Bottom of the fourth. Ryan O'Hearn's going to lead it off for Baltimore against Jose Barrios. The pitch. Change up low. A lot of movement on that pitch as it dropped below the zone. Ball one. O'Hearn with a 2-run homer in the first inning. It's helped the Orioles to a 3-2 lead. Now he takes a fastball just low. 2 balls and no strikes.
You can bet that Jose Barrios is going to be careful in this at-bat. Ryan O'Hearn put a good swing on Jose Barrios earlier on in the ballgame.
2-0 pitch. Backdoor slurve for a strike. O'Hearn has been an Oriole for a couple seasons fewer than he was a Royal, but the Orioles are where he's made his career. 2-1 pitch, hit foul, 2-2. Now 32 years old. He really broke out in his first year with Baltimore in 2023. Coming up with an OPS over 800 as a platoon player. Hitting 14 home runs. Last year, set a career high with 15. 2-2. Called strike 3. Beautiful backdoor breaker freezes O'Hearn, and from 2-0, Barrios battles back to punch him out on a 2-2 pitch. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, which is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. 100% Canadian-owned and operated since 1992. Home of the $4 happy hour. 20-plus food and drink items starting at just $4. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. You are welcome.
We have a couple trades today. One of them within the division. First, the pitch to Colton Cowser. Changeup for a strike, 0-1. A couple hours ago, the New York Yankees swung a deal with platoon outfielder Austin Slater coming from the White Sox to the Yankees. Third position player added by New York, 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Slater joins Ryan McMahon and Ahmed Rosario as additions to the Yankees roster. Right on left, the pitch to Cowser. Low and away, 2 balls, 1 strike. The Los Angeles Angels have swung a deal to buy rather than sell. The Angels, who are 4 games outside of the final wildcard spot, adding a pair of veteran relievers. 2-1. Hit high in the air, right field, not super deep. Loperfido curling toward the foul line makes a one-handed catch, and there are 2 outs. Angels are acquiring lefty Andrew Chafin and right-handed reliever Luis Garcia in a deal with the Washington Nationals, sending left-hander Jake Eder and one minor league player, over to the Nationals. In some ways surprising, in some ways not at all.
Yeah. Well, the Angels,
They're not that far out of it.
they're not far. They're 53 and 55. They're 4 games back of the last wild card spot.
First pitch to Cedric Mullins, bunted to third, bare hand play. Barger slings to first high. It's down the right field line, but Ernie Clement quickly over there to pick it up. Mullins does not make a turn to second, and it should be a bunt single for the speedy center fielder Mullins.
That was a really nice bunt from Cedric Mullins, perfectly placed down that third base line. Addison Barger actually made a pretty nice play. He was playing even with the bag, so it wasn't that far back. Barehanded that thing, just didn't get a good feel for it and airmailed it into right field. But fortunately for the Jays, Cedric Mullins stays at first base.
Could be Mullins' final game as an Oriole. We mentioned that earlier for O'Hearn as well. Now a first pitch to Dylan Carlson, misses outside, ball 1. And the Angels might make this move to go back to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, and that might be it, in which case it's not like they've really leveraged their future in a big way. 1-0. Hit high in the air, foul over the netting, and into the first deck of seats, 1-1. But they do rarely sell, the Angels. They are pushing for the playoffs a lot of the time, which in one way is admirable, but they have not made the playoffs very much because of it, so they draw some criticism for it as well. The 1-1. Chop toward first base, slide attempt by Wagner, gets past him, Clement fields and tosses to a running Barrios, who makes the grab, finds the bag, and ends the inning. Nice play from Clement and Barrios to make it a scoreless bottom of the 4th on 1 hit and 1 left. Still 3-2 Orioles going to the 5th. You're listening.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show, MLB Tonight, live at 5. Join Greg, Harold, and Dan and a star-studded roster for a preview of all the night's matchups. Get a first look at the lineups.
Everything looks good right now for the Yankees.
First take from the players.
I'm just excited to put any pair of cleats on.
And the first of many breakdowns before the first pitch. A full night of baseball starts at 5. MLB Tonight's national pregame show. Weekdays at 5 Eastern on MLB Network.
Xfinity Internet and TV and save up to $50 a month with AutoPay on a 24-month term. Visit Rogers.com for details. Rogers, we got you.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blue Jays win it 3-1
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays looking to come back in this game. They trail the Orioles 3-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Dean Kramer winds and offers to Ali Sanchez. Pitch hit foul, 0-1. This 5th inning is brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. We mentioned we'll get to the Blue Jays injuries when the Blue Jays were hitting in the fourth. We'll do that here in the top of the fifth. 0-1 to Sanchez. Is hit on the ground right side and through into right field, a base hit. They were shifting him toward third, so Holiday was too close to the second base bag to make his way back to that ground ball, and it's a single for Ali Sanchez.
Well, it actually seemed like Ali Sanchez saw that big hole, and that's exactly what he was trying to accomplish with that swing there. He got the fastball on the outside part of the plate and just went the other way, perfectly placed for a leadoff single.
He's filled in nicely since coming up for Kirk on the concussion injured list. He's on first. Joey Loperfido is up. Kramer from the stretch. Outside ball one. Speaking of Kirk, he's doing more baseball activity right now. The thought from Schneider was that he would probably try and hit a little today. If he continues progressing this way, could return Sunday to the Blue Jays when he's eligible to come off the IL. 1-0. Rope to right field on a line, but right at Carlson. Jogged a couple steps to his right, made the grab. Sanchez back to first, and there's one out.
And also good news for the Jays, George Springer is actually in the dugout. Alejandro Kirk is actually in the dugout, so that tells me that they're feeling okay.
Yeah, it looks like Kirk will try and do a rehab Saturday and then just jump right back onto the roster Sunday. Doesn't need that much time on rehab because he'll only have been out a week. One out, pitch to Ernie Clement. Low ball one.
And George Springer is actually sitting in the sun, so that really tells me that he's feeling okay. For anybody that's had a concussion before, that's been hit in the head, if you're not feeling right, you are not in the sun.
The word from Schneider was that there aren't really that many symptoms for Springer. 1-0. Outside 2-0. He said the best thing is that George has been himself. It hasn't seemed like he has been any different. Each day it seems like the little deflection off the shoulder and maybe it catching a lot of the helmet has really helped Springer. 2-0. Called strike. That pitch looked inside, not to mention he missed his spot by 3 feet. I am shocked he got that call. That was both out of the zone and a miss of the spot. Clement very unhappy with Carapazza. It's 2-1.
It was also one of the ugliest catches from a catcher I've seen this season. Really handcuffed Alex Jackson.
2-1 pitch. Fouled back, or is it? Near first base, O'Hearn reaches into the dugout, but that one into the camera well too deep. O'Hearn actually stepped down into the first base dugout. It's 2-2. For Springer, they said he's feeling even better today. He's attempted to run full speed. He was on the field for about 15 minutes or so before the game working with some trainers. There's a potential that Springer could be back for the Blue Jays on Friday, or at least at some point in the series coming up on the weekend against the Royals. Runner on first, one out. And the 2-2. Line to left field, base hit, bouncing toward the wall. Coming around second, Sanchez headed to third. Ernie Clement is into second with a double, and the Blue Jays have two in scoring position and only one out.
Well, how about that? Ernie Clement got the mistake. They were trying to throw that cutter away. It ended up spinning kind of on the inner third, down and in. Ernie Clement just rips those hands through, gets the barrel to it, and the Blue Jays have runners at
your way, and you just kind of take that anger out on it.
So now you got a conversation on the mound. Drew French, the pitching coach, is out because you've got a base open. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the hitter, Bo Bichette on deck, and this is obviously a strategy conversation about maybe how much they want to go after Vladdy here.
It's the unintentional pitch around. At least that's what was typically going on when I had these conversations on the mound. You're finding the spot that you think he might chase, and you're trying to figure out, well, does that match up with your strength? So sometimes you might want to say, hey, let's throw some breaking balls on the outer half, see if he chases. But if you don't trust that pitcher can throw breaking balls in that certain zone, you can't go there. So typically, if you're trying to unintentionally pitch around a guy, you go with their best command pitch and then go to a weak spot. Vladdy's got to be really selective here because I don't see them getting him out in the zone.
Infield kind of halfway right now for the Orioles. Sanchez, the lead runner, does not possess great speed. Remember, too, that Guerrero is arguably Kramer's number one nemesis, the hitter that has hurt him more than anybody else. All of that factors into that conversation on the mound.
Exact same scenario with Rutschman and Barrios. Just be very, very careful. But sometimes when trying to be too careful, you can grip that ball a little bit too tight. You can feel the nerves, feel the anxiety, and you can lay one right in the middle.
Grounded through the infield and into left, a base hit. Sanchez will come in to score. Clement to third as Guerrero just lunged at it and found a hole on the left side for an RBI single.
Well, I tell you, it must be nice to just take a C-minus swing, still hit it on the barrel, and still get the job done. Watch the Fanny moving out. He's totally fooled by this pitch, but he gets enough barrel. This is just elite hand-eye coordination. Probably not a pitch he wants to swing at 1-0. You're probably thinking double to score both of them. But he just has the ability to meet barrel to baseball, and of course, good base running there by Clement. Having to wait in case Henderson at shortstop made that play, but Blue Jays are building an inning.
They've tied the game. First and third, one out for Bichette, who is 0 for 2. Kramer will step off. First disengagement. High fly ball to left center field. Clement going back to tag. Cowser now coming in to make the catch. Here comes Clement. Here comes the throw. Safe! On a bang-bang play at the plate, Clement is called safe. And will the Orioles challenge? They are going to challenge the call at home plate.
Challenging the safe call home plate.
Cowser doing the right thing. Look at his momentum coming in. And then he got off a very good throw. From that angle, tough to tell, obviously.
Yeah, he started off way out there in left field. His momentum really took himself to home plate. And Jackson, really tough short hop pick right there. Your momentum as a catcher has to go back a little bit. See how he goes back to get that long hop. Clement looks like he's trying to get that swimmer move going. Sometimes it's a very difficult tagging zone to guess at as a catcher. There's a lot of dust. It's hard to see. Remember, the call in the field is safe. There's got to be irrefutable evidence to overturn it.
This might be the cleanest angle.
That fingertip and that glove is really, really close. I think the Blue Jays are going to benefit from the call on the field being safe. What a throw from left field. What a pick at catcher by Jackson. When Bichette initially hit the ball, Cowser was 340 feet away. I didn't even think there was going to be a play, to be honest with you. And then Cowser starts running in slowly. By the time he caught the ball, he couldn't have been more than 230 feet away, and he threw an absolute dime to home plate.
A lot of dust. The more dust, the better for the Blue Jays, because that might make it harder to overturn this call. I don't know if he got him or not, but the call on the field is safe, and oftentimes that can be the difference unless they have what they feel is absolute evidence to overturn it. Vic Carapazza, the crew chief, also the home plate umpire, he made the call, and he'll be giving us the information.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Call overturned. It's a double play to end the inning. The Blue Jays get one. It's tied through 4.5 as we send it back to Jamie Campbell. because of a review, a challenge. The call overturned. Clement out on a bang-bang play at the plate. So it is tied going to the bottom of the 5th. Alex Jackson, the number 9 hitter for the Orioles, will lead it off. Jose Barrios has really been in a groove, but again, it's not just that he's been in a groove. It's really just the home run by O'Hearn. Like the base hit by Holiday in the first was off the end of the bat. Then the error by Clement obviously compounded the issue, and then O'Hearn hit the home run. Since then, Barrios has not had much trouble at all, just 2 singles, and one of them was a bunt hit.
You mentioned the slurve early, combining that with the fastball in the inner half to Orioles hitters. He's thrown 20 slurves, and they've had really good action, and it's a big separator for Barrios. Sometimes I think he can get caught going fastball changeup a little bit too much. You got to love the action on that pitch. So deadly against right-handed hitters, but his location has been so good, and that you combine that with good stuff, good sequencing, you can start to really build a nice start.
Ahead of Jackson, 1-2. Down and away, backhanded by Ali Sanchez. 2 balls and 2 strikes. After Jackson, it'll be Holiday, Westberg, the top of the order, so it feels important to try to get this guy and not have anything started before the big boys at the top come up. Now 3-2, though, after getting out in front 0-2. Is lined to deep left field, and it's going to be off the base of the wall. It kind of sticks in there, and Jackson is aboard with a leadoff double.
So he started Jackson off sinker, got to 0-2 and was just adamant about putting him away with the slurve. This is the 5th one in a row, and because he's in a 3-2 count, you're really trying to throw a strike slider right there. It gets stuck up underneath the wall. Signed by Barrios right there, unhappy with the location.
And the bullpen is up. Brendan Little got up just moments ago, just before the hit by Jackson. Again, the bullpen's in pretty good shape. There's an off day tomorrow, and you can see that John Schneider is going to roll him out if he feels that that is the best option. And there are a ton of left-handed bats in this Baltimore lineup. If you bring in a lefty, you might get a couple guys out of the game or flip around a switch hitter. But obviously there are a lot of guys available if you see Little up now. This is also the beginning of 3rd time through the order and all that, but John Schneider's going to put the pedal to the metal with the bullpen if he feels that helps him win the game.
I'd be shocked if every single member wasn't available down there. They will try and shorten it, win at all cost in this game.
Ground ball to the right side, a sliding stop by Clement. So Holiday is out, but Jackson comes to 3rd.
This is where you got to really bear down. Westberg, probably one of the more underrated bats this Oriole lineup, and there's really only one spot that I love going to. It's sink down and in. He's such a good inside-out hitter. He stays on breaking balls. Ali Sanchez is going to come out here probably to talk over the scouting report against Westberg, maybe even give Little some extra time in the bullpen. But I love this mound visit right here. Sanchez knows the game is at hand. He kind of knows it's a tight game. He knows this is a huge at-bat. You're going over how you want to start him, how you want to get back into the count if you do lose the first pitch to a ball, and then how you want to finish him off. Get ahead, get back even, and then how you want to finish them, and then try and read each pitch in between there.
I think the Little getting time has just as much to do with it. Gunnar Henderson's on deck, left-handed batter. Like, this could be, we don't know, but this could be it for Barrios.
It feels like it.
Yep. And that bought Little time to throw maybe 4 or 5 more pitches out there. Infield is in with a go-ahead run at 3rd and 1 out. And this is going to be plenty deep enough. It's hit a long way to left center field, and it's gone. just like that, the Orioles are back on top.
I hate second-guessing pitch calling, but I hated the pitch. I hate a changeup down and in. You got him on it earlier. He's probably looking for it. He's thinking that you're going to go on the inside part of the plate. He meets barrel to baseball.
And that is going to be all for Berríos. He could not get Westburg. Little was getting ready for Henderson. But unfortunately for the Blue Jays, it is now 5-3 for the Orioles. The bullpen beginning with Brendan Little.
Little in 50 games this year, just over a 2.5 earned run average, 13.5 K per 9. He's got to really handle these lefties. In Henderson, it'll obviously flip Rutschman around to bat right-handed. He had a tough one last time out versus the Orioles. Hopefully he can rebound. A whiff.
He'll face Gunnar Henderson to get it started here for Little with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Henderson 1 for 2. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Going to win it. It'll have to be some good work from the bullpen, and the hitters will have to find a way to keep getting after it. They've scored 3 runs in 5 innings, but probably had some chances to do a little bit more than they've done today, and they'll have to get it done against Kramer, and then for a few innings, the Baltimore bullpen, which is not full. They have traded some guys, including Dominguez, to the Blue Jays yesterday. They still have some good arms down there, but not quite what they had a few weeks ago. As Henderson grounds out for out number 2. The line on Berríos, only 2 of the 5 runs are earned, but he did surrender 2 home.
Really burned him there. He had really good location. He had good stuff. Had to kind of work around that error, and then I just didn't love the first pitch call to Westburg. If you're going to go in with the infield in, I love it hard, moving in, down and in, or go something soft away.
A couple of strikes now on Adley Rutschman, who turns around to the right side with Little on the mound. The good news again is that the bullpen appears to be very well rested, reasonably well rested, and there is an off day tomorrow, so John Schneider's probably got just about everybody, if not all of them, at his disposal. Spike that curveball in, and look out Ali Sanchez and look out Vic Carapazza.
We've seen that from time to time with Little. That's just him holding onto the ball a little bit too long. Watch, it bounces outside of our frame, and I will tell you, as a catcher, as an umpire, you are trying to get out of the way of that baseball because it's probably not going to hit you in a protected area.
The 1-2 missed outside. Swung on and missed. Little gets him and sets down the two batters he faces here in the bottom of the fifth, but the Orioles are back on top.
.40-pound 28-year-old, drafted twice. Once by the Tigers, once by the Rangers. Sinker, slider, curveball through an inning on Monday of scoreless relief for the Orioles.
And this is a good pocket for Mansolino to bring in his lefty because two of the three hitters due up this inning are left-handed batters. Addison Barger is leading it off, and after Davis Schneider, it'll be Will Wagner. The bench today for the Blue Jays is George Springer, who we believe is unavailable. Nathan Lucas, another left-handed batter who could come into play later maybe with a righty on the mound. Leo Jimenez, and then Tyler Heineman. So I don't think there's going to be quite as much movement with the bench as there typically is. And again, that will change when Springer gets healthy and they may have more options, but right now limited options as Wolfram fires a 96-mile-an-hour fastball past Barger, one down.
It's a slow, deliberate delivery at the start, but once he breaks his hands and starts striding towards home plate, there's a very quick arm action right here. Reminds me a little bit of Matt Thornton, old left-hander reliever from the White Sox. Big, tall lefty, threw real hard. Easy delivery, but very quick arm.
Now Davis Schneider, 0 for 2.
And from that 6-7 frame from the left side, it just plays up. You're just not used to seeing lefties with that arm angle at that height throwing that hard.
Schneider hits one down the right field line, dropping foul. Carapazza puts time back in. The pitch clock resumes. And the 1-1 to Schneider. Up and away. Schneider doing well against lefties. As you can see, gets the majority of his at-bats, or has gotten the majority of his at-bats against lefties. Makes it high, ball 3. And really not chasing much at all since he's come back from the minors.
He's done such a great job of getting down in the count 0-2, working it back to a 3-2 count. This time he's in an advantage count. See if he unloads right here.
Takes a strike right at the top of the zone, 3-2.
And I think that's the toughest pitch for Schneider. He doesn't want to swing at that pitch up in the zone. He's had some trouble up and close to him, and quite a few calls kind of go pitcher's way up there at the top of the zone.
Wolfram tries to stay up there, but he misses high, and Schneider draws another walk. And now Leo Jimenez is coming out to hit for Will Wagner. So again, there are not a ton of options on the bench today for John Schneider, but he wants to get a right-handed bat into the lineup right now against the lefty Wolfram.
He's going to empty the roster. I can just almost guarantee it. And you're trying to find those high leverage spots. Looks like Schneider might think this could be a really good spot for them to tack on some runs.
0-2. Later on, we could see Lucas hit for Jimenez in some situation when a righty is in.
Wolfram has struggled. He struggled to just under a 9.5 earned run average. 9 appearances.
Schneider the lead, 1 down. And again the 0-2. And a fly ball is sent to left. Cowser over to his right will make the catch. Schneider halfway and now back to the bag. Flight Path is presented by WestJet, the official airline of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Right off the bat, it seemed like Straw probably didn't think he got it.
And he's now up with 2 outs here this inning. One and one on Straw. take it inside.
Just can't bail pitchers out. Wolfram obviously having a little bit of trouble finding the zone. I feel like they bailed out Kramer twice in this outing, and we've seen the Blue Jays offense get really stubborn and force hard contact. And I think that's kind of what has led to some of their 4 or 5 run innings. We just haven't seen that in this series, and for me, they've just been undisciplined. They've been so disciplined in their approaches. They've bailed these hitters out by swinging at first pitches, inducing weak contact when they've had them on the ropes. This is, even with 2 outs, this is a perfect example.
A fly ball to right field. This is hit pretty well. Carlson is still going back, and it's off the wall. Schneider around third. He's getting the wave, is on his way to the plate, and will score as Miles Straw does it again. This time an opposite field double, and he's driven in 3 of their 4 runs.
Another barreled baseball from Straw. This time he's going to the opposite field. Looks like it gets deep naturally because of the velocity. Carlson is all the way back and just sort of overplays it just a bit. I think he was really drifting towards that ball off the bat of a smaller in stature right-handed hitter. Sometimes you don't think it's going to carry as much as it did. It obviously is carrying well here at Camden Yards. But Straw does it again, and sometimes you just need those energy guys to come in and inject some energy. This game at times has been very exciting, but at times it has felt very stagnant. You got to find ways. Make a play. Make a big base running play. Make a great pitch. Make a big swing. When your team has 2 outs, something. You got to keep doing it over and over and over. The Orioles are not going to hand it to the Blue Jays.
Miles Straw doing everything he can to will this team to a much-needed victory here this afternoon. Will he get enough help from other parts of the lineup? Yennier Cano is getting up in the bullpen here in the 6th inning. One of the few really experienced guys they've got in the bullpen. That has everything to do, you would think, with it coming around to the top of the order, with Guerrero and Bichette not being that far away. Here's Ali Sanchez, 1 for 2. Had a base hit and scored in the 5th. So Straw's got a homer and a double and is driven in 3. Sanchez has singled and scored. Guerrero is 2 for 3 with an RBI. Up and away. At the very least, not only do you get a run this inning, but you're also turning the lineup over. Fouled off, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that bullpen is thin down there for the Orioles. Cano probably the most relied upon and trusted high leverage reliever down there. A bunch of question marks down there after Cano.
Kittredge, an established guy. Keegan Aiken just back off the IL.
Kittredge, yeah. Good call.
Sanchez wants to make sure he didn't chip that bat. Seems to be all right. Filling in while Alejandro Kirk is on the concussion IL. Again, all going well. Kirk could play a rehab game Saturday in Buffalo and be back with the Blue Jays Sunday. This is in the air to center. Mullins going back. Mullins going back. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. As good a catch as you will ever see a center fielder make, as Cedric Mullins takes a 2-run homer away from Ali Sanchez.
Unbelievable.
run as a major leaguer. That has kept the game 5-4 for the Orioles as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher for the Blue Jays, left-hander Mason Fluharty into the game, and a pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. To go back to a discussion we had earlier in the series, Chris, I think today is the day that I have disregarded defensive runs saved. They are rating Mullins as an incredibly below-average outfielder. He has been anything but that in these 4 games.
Yeah, and he knows this stadium as well. He knows the dimensions. He knows his way around center field.
First pitch to Ryan O'Hearn is a front hip sweeper, strike 1.
And he's been incredible. I mean, just the optics of what he's doing out there in center field, the way he's swinging the bat, he's been an all-around player in this series.
0-1. Check swing, sweeper down and away, appeal to third. He did go, says Nick Marley. It's 0-2. Fluharty, the second lefty called out of the Blue Jays pen already. Little got the final 2 outs of the 5th. Now in the bottom of the 6th, Fluharty's 0-2. Down and away, went further outside with the sweeper, too far to entice O'Hearn. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Show Ali, our host and producer. Austin Mackey, Derek Brandeo, our technical directors. 1-2. Foul tip, strike 3. Fluharty goes up top with a cutter and punches out O'Hearn, 1 out.
By the way, that should be illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to rob a potential first career home run. My goodness.
You got to feel for Ali Sanchez. Yeah. It's a guy who's been up and down a lot in his big league career. This is his 45th game. You just don't know how many chances you're going to have, and that ball easily would have got out.
There wasn't anger on the face of Sanchez. There was just extreme disappointment after he saw that Cedric Mullins rob that.
First pitch to Colton Cowser, foul back in another left-on-left matchup. It's 0-1. (5-4) Orioles, 1 out, bases empty, bottom 6. The 0-1. Sweeper for a strike. It totally erases from your mind, at least for a moment, that the Blue Jays did actually score in the 6th inning. They made it a 1-run game on a Miles Straw double, but it looked like they'd be in the lead 6-5. 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes, says Cowser ducked back out of the way of the cutter. The 2 home run robberies for Mullins. That one to keep the Orioles on top, and he robbed Lucas of a homer in game 1 that would have tied the game. So not just great plays, but in big spots. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Fluharty punches out a pair in quick order, and here comes Cedric Mullins with 2 outs.
And both of those home run robbings, I guess, were against guys that don't really have a ton of power, don't really hit a lot of home runs.
Understand the big applause for Cedric Mullins. This could be his last game as an Oriole. Probably is, at least for this year. Pitch to Mullins. Sweeper outside, 1-0. Mullins 1 for 2 on the day with a single. Bunted for a single in the 4th. The 1-0. Lifted high, foul, first base side behind home plate and into the seats out of play, 1-1. Easy guy to like, I think, in Baltimore. Drafted in the 13th round in 2015, so he beats the odds to get to the big leagues. And then he's there through a lot of the really, really tough years for the Orioles, losing 100 games or more annually. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And although his best season or 2 might have come before they really got there as a team, I think there's a lot of recognition that he was providing entertainment, working his tail off, while there wasn't necessarily a lot to watch for Orioles fans at Camden Yards.
Yeah, and he was that, except better when he was at his best. So that's pretty impressive.
The 1-2. Popped up, foul. Sanchez can't see it. Doesn't matter. It's out of play behind home plate. Still 1-2.
Still a guy with a lot to offer. Age 30 season.
It's my best guess that he's a New York Met by the end of tomorrow. They are looking for center fielders, but we'll have to wait and see. 1-2. He lines it, and it's down in left center field for a base hit, slowly rolling into the gap. This should be extra bases. Mullins into second base before the ball is thrown to Bo Bichette, the cutoff man. He'll stop at second with a 2-out double.
And just a really nice approach there. It was a cutter up and away, and he just hits it where it's pitched. Hammers that thing into the gap in left center, ends up at second base. The defense is there. We talked about this before. The athleticism is still there, and then the approach at the plate is still really good.
And it won't warm a lot of the hearts of Blue Jays fans, but it is a pretty cool swan song in Baltimore for Mullins if he is dealt. He's on second, 2 outs, 5-4 Orioles. The pitch to Dylan Carlson is yanked down the left field line, foul, 0-1. Carlson, a switch hitter, has turned around to bat right-handed against Fluharty. 0 for 2 from the left side against Barrios earlier. Fluharty with 2 checks on second and an 0-1. That swung on and missed. Might have been foul tip there. Sweeper almost acted as a changeup at the bottom of the zone. 0-2.
Seems to me like Mason Fluharty has figured something out. His stuff looks very good. There's a lot of confidence out there on that mound.
He steps off the rubber for a moment as Carlson asks for time. When we saw him really get going at the beginning of the year, there was a quiet swagger to his game. He'd stomp around the mound a little. He'd pop off quickly on strikeouts. Here's his 2-strike pitch. Just high. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Carlson.
We're slowly starting to see the April-May Mason Fluharty again, and I like that. The Blue Jays need him in their pen.
Extreme first base side of the rubber. He sets right at his waistline. And the 1-2. Down and in with a cutter. They were trying to elevate, but he pulled it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays have Tommy Nance warming up. 2 outs and a runner on second. 5-4 game, bottom of the 6th. The kick and the pitch. In the dirt with a sweeper. Sanchez blocks it and scurries his way around the hitter Carlson to pick up the baseball. It rolled through Carlson's leg, and Sanchez was lightly brushing him aside as he tried to find the baseball. 3-2.
Ollie Sanchez is having a nice game back there. He's made some tough blocks. That one there was actually really tough, keeping Cedric Mullins at second base there.
Blue Jays just got it to back within 1. Want to keep Mullins from scoring from second. 2 outs in the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. A walk off the hill for Fluharty after a scoreless inning with 3 strikeouts. He allows a hit and leaves Mullins on second. End of the 6th. It's the Orioles 5 and the Blue Jays 4. Top of the order due up next.
Take a
Cano is into the game. Right-handed sinker baller is on, protecting a one-run lead. Blue Jays have scored a run in the 5th and 6th, trying to do the same in the 7th with the top of the order coming up. Cano stretches his arms above his head, settles on to the extreme first base side of the rubber, just the toes of his back right foot on the rubber. His pitch to Joey Loperfido. Outside with 94, ball 1. 2 years ago, Cano was an all-star. He's taken a slight step back in each year since. But he still has 95 with sink. His 1-0 pitch is hit on a line and down in right center field, a base hit. Second knock of the day for Loperfido, and the Blue Jays have the tying run on base to start the top of the 7th.
Joey Loperfido is just making all the right moves up there. He's getting his pitches. He's not missing them. He got that fastball that really didn't do much. It was kind of a straight fastball from Cano, and he just ripped it right back up the middle, not trying to do too much with that pitch.
Ernie Clement hitting a step off and throw over to first and a dive back in by Loperfido. Clement, now the Blue Jays' first baseman, started the game at second, but when Jimenez hit for Wagner, Jimenez went to second, Clement to first, and now Ernie takes a sweeper outside, or a slider rather, ball 1. ERA about 4 1/3 for Yennier Cano, 31-year-old righty from Cuba. 1-0. Swing and a liner, right center field, base hit, bounces in front of Mullins. He'll whip it in quickly to third, keeping Loperfido at second. 2 aboard for the Blue Jays, nobody out.
Well, a lot like Joey Loperfido in the previous at-bat, Ernie Clement not trying to do too much with that slider on the outside part. A lot of hitters will roll over that pitch, potentially ground into a double play, but Ernie Clement just goes the other way and hammers that ball on a line over the head of Jackson Holliday.
In a 5-4 game, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. comes to the plate in a big spot. First and second for the Blue Jays, trailing by 1, no outs, top of the 7th. Cano looks back to the lead runner and the pitch. Called strike, 95 on the corner. This is the 20th time Cano has faced the Blue Jays, most of them with the Orioles, a little bit with the Twins as well. Vlad is 1 for 13 against him career. 0-1. Rounded softly towards short. Backhanding Henderson, throws across to first to get Guerrero for the out. Really nice play by Gunnar Henderson. Had to deal with the traffic of Loperfido dodging the ball and crossing in front of him, and then stumbling. Henderson threw across his body to first. Effectively, that works as a bunt. Second and third now, 1 out.
That was a really heads-up play, actually, from Joey Loperfido. He slowed down just a little bit to kind of mess with Gunnar Henderson, but what a play from Gunnar Henderson. First of all, fielding that ground ball with Joey Loperfido in front of him, and then making a perfect throw across the diamond to get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. by about a step.
So the baton passed to Bo Bichette. Second and third, 1 out, and before Bichette hits, Alex Jackson goes out to the hill. We can go over to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, where Yennier Cano's former team, the Minnesota Twins, are hosting the Boston Red Sox. Boston has turned a 4-1 lead into a 6-1 lead, as Masataka Yoshida drove in a pair with a single in the 5th inning in that game. 6-1 Red Sox, top of the 6th. Our out-of-town scores and news brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Mound meeting over. Lefty Keegan Aiken is warming up right now in the Orioles bullpen. Bo Bichette with a fly ball deep enough could tie this game. Infield in, second and third, 1 out. Cano set at his chest, rocks and deals. First pitch, swing and a miss. Bichette looked like he was trying to hold up and swung at half speed there. It's 0-1.
This is a good guy to have on the mound if you're the Baltimore Orioles. You want a ground ball. You don't want that deep fly ball. And Yennier Cano has very good sink on that fastball.
0-1. Swinging a ground ball over the mound, up the middle into center field. In to score, Loperfido. Clement right behind him. Throw to the plate offline, and the Blue Jays take the lead. Bo Bichette snaps in 0 for 9 with a 2-run single up the middle, and Toronto leads 6-5 in the 7th.
Well, finally, Bo Bichette snaps out of this mini slump that he was in. He had a really awkward swing on the first pitch of the at-bat. And then right there, he stays on that tough fastball that's down, sinking down at 96 miles an hour, and rips it right through the legs of Yennier Cano. 2 big RBIs. The Blue Jays finally have a lead here in this ballgame.
First pitch to Barger, hit back foul, 0-1.
The final game here in this series. Barger is 0 for 2 with a walk today. And that hit him. But did he swing? The appeal was no swing, so he is going down to first. Had he swung, that overrules the hit by pitch, but no swing. Tony Mansolino, you can see that they've got somebody on the phone just checking with their video room to see if there was anything that was missed or they could challenge. They will not, so that's a hit by pitch. Bichette to second, Barger at first.
See that sweeper slider coming in, hits that back. Looks like ankle of Barger, and thank goodness he did not swing, because I can promise you if he would have swung, he'd have been hearing it from the boys on the bus later.
First and second, 1 out. The Blue Jays trying to add on. There's still a long way to go in this game, and it's just a 1-run lead. And the batter is Davis Schneider, 0 for 2 with a walk. Takes a strike on the outside corner. And now 96 at the belt, quickly 0-2. Three hits in the inning, singles by Loperfido, Clement, and then the big one from Bichette. The 0-2. Just off the corner. That was close.
Good take. Very easy pitch to release on.
Grounded foul. Leo Jimenez is the on-deck hitter for the Blue Jays. The other available players on the bench, if they were to be needed in some capacity, Nathan Lucas. We think it's just a day off for Lucas. Tyler Heineman. We don't believe George Springer is available today. And another foul ball off the bat of Schneider. Six runs on 10 hits, 1 error for the Blue Jays. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Orioles. The Blue Jays trail 3-0 at the end of an inning, but now have their first lead of the afternoon. Pops him up on the infield. And the infield fly rule is in effect. It'll be Henderson, the shortstop, coming all the way over, and he's saying to O'Hearn, I just had a better angle on the sun, and I got my sunglasses on, and he's probably not wrong, but
you play over there.
Yeah.
It's a go-getter mentality, though. Yeah. See the ball up, you want the ball. Coaches tell players all the time, want the baseball.
And we mentioned Nathan Lucas, and here he is. He is going to pinch hit for Jimenez. So John Schneider will take a shot here getting a left-handed bat in there against Cano. Inside for ball one. Lucas hit a home run on Monday night in the first game of the series, but he had a long day yesterday, went 0 for 9 in the doubleheader. It had been so hot in the Detroit series, hit a couple of home runs there, and he's just been so consistently reliable for the Blue Jays. Just a rough one yesterday, but he's back in there as a pinch hitter today with Bichette at second, Barger at first, and 2 down. Bounced in, ball 2.
There are times when pitchers just execute their pitches to spots that you might not be able to cover. No hitter can cover every single spots, and a lot of times you're just looking to do damage in spots that you really cover and hope for mistakes. And this series, Orioles have really been able to hammer Lucas, especially up and close to him.
Lucas hits one to deep right field. A 3-run homer. What a moment for the Blue Jays. What a moment for Nathan Lucas. What a much-needed hit right there as he comes off the bench and hits his 4th home run of the road trip and gives the Blue Jays a 9-5 lead.
Well, he's already hit a breaking ball in this series for a home run to right field. It's another breaking ball from Cano to the pull side. We talked about him just seconds earlier, getting mistakes and doing it in spots that you can do damage. A huge weight lifted. Big 5-run inning for the Jays.
A pitching change here in Baltimore. The Blue Jays lead by 4.
In the game, Blue Jays might be really having to crawl back. Wouldn't be surprised if he tried to take off at some point in this at-bat.
Ali Sanchez, the batter. Cade Stroud, by the way, is the pitcher for the Orioles as Sanchez swings and misses. Stroud is the pitcher, for people who may not remember, who hit George Springer up in the ear flap on the first night of this series. He is a 27-year-old rookie. This is just his 6th major league appearance. And after that, you could see he was shaken, too. There was a long meeting on the mound, and he threw about 10 or 12 pitches after that, and they were all breaking balls down and away, every single one of them.
I talked to some people with the Orioles, and they told me he was shaken after that game.
Fly ball down the right field line. Carlson still coming in. He makes the catch in fair territory. That will retire the side, but it is a big 5-run inning for the Blue Jays in the top of the 7th. Nathan Lucas comes off the
so far.
The team Davis Schneider has come in from left. He will play second. Joey Loperfido is in left field. He moves from right to left, and Nathan Lucas will stay in the game in right. And it's Alex Jackson, the number 9 hitter in the Orioles lineup, to face Yariel Rodriguez. Well, you just never know when that moment may come, and you never know when that pinch hitting opportunity may present itself. Well, John Schneider decided that was the moment with a couple of men on. Lucas hitting for Jimenez, and man, did it ever pay off. 2-0. But there are still 9 outs they have to get against a team that is swinging the bats very well. 2-1 on Jackson. Brendan Little and Mason Fluharty did their jobs. The 2 lefties combined to get 5 outs. Little got 2 of them, 1 strikeout. Fluharty had a scoreless inning, 1 hit, but 3 strikeouts. And Jackson pops it up. Clement, who's now at first, in to make the catch, 1 down. Today's game is brought to you in part by The Bad Guys 2, in theaters Friday. Rodriguez now to face the leadoff man in the Orioles lineup, Jackson Holliday. Who was 1 for 3 today, hit a base hit and scored back in the first. Off. That one was running right in on him. It's a ball and a strike on Holliday.
It's the second time in this series we've seen that ball kind of cut on Yariel. We saw it quite often as a starter. Had that kind of natural cut. That kind of had an upshoot cut look to it, which is why you saw that real funky swing from Holliday.
Pulls one to the right side. A diving stop. Schneider, though, can't come up with it cleanly. I don't think it was ever in his glove. He kind of rolled over, reached behind him, but couldn't find it right away, and Holliday is going to reach on a base hit.
On first glance, looked like Schneider might have dove a little bit past the baseball. Looks like it kind of gets hung up on the heel. He knocks it down, is spinning around right here. If he would have been able to grab it, he might have been able to flip it sidearm to Vladdy.
Now Jordan Westburg, who homered his last time up, fouls one off out of play. If you're John Schneider, you're just counting outs right now. You just want to. You got your best guys are rested. It appears. It appears they've got Rodriguez or Anthony Dominguez, Jeff Hoffman. You just want to find a way to get those last 8 outs, get out of the heat, get home, have an off day, get some guys back from injury, maybe make a trade or two, and go get them Friday.
That's right. All the buttons he has pressed today have worked. Getting Little in there, that was a huge outing from Little, big outing from Fluharty to kind of put up a 0. He presses the right button, putting Lucas in to pinch it. Now he's got his kind of 3 big boys to cover 9 outs.
To shallow center field. In comes Straw, and it's going to drop in front of him. And Westburg with a base hit. Holliday up to second.
Looks like Yariel not happy with the location of this breaking ball. Probably wants it more down and away. You can see him look at Ali Sanchez right there. My bat. It's a chase pitch. You're looking for chase right there in that situation. And when you leave it up, you can have them out in front. But if it's up, they have just enough to get the end of the barrel on it, shoot it into center field.
And now all of a sudden you got 2 men on. You've got Gunnar Henderson up. You've got Adley Rutschman on deck. Henderson 1 for 3. Bounced in, ball 1. This is the guy you want against the best hitters in the Baltimore lineup. He has been rock solid and then some for the Blue Jays for a couple of months now. An infield hit and then kind of a flare to center, but now it's a threat here for the Orioles. And now another one. This one is lined into left center, and that's going to bring a run home. Henderson with an RBI single. Holliday in. Westburg around to third, and it's 9-6.
He probably gets jammed on this fastball from Rodriguez. You can see the target's looking like it's wanting to go up and away. It's more middle down. And just look at the swing path. Very easy swing path. Orioles are cooking. Got to find a way to suppress this momentum. Strikeout would go a long way. A ball on the ground would go a long way, but you got to hyper focus right here with Adley Rutschman up. He's been big since coming off of the IL.
Braden Fisher getting up. Rutschman 0 for 2 with a sac fly today. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. find a way to stay out of the big inning. Even if you give up a run to get an out, I think the Blue Jays would take that. Just stay away from the big crooked number. A called strike, 1-1. 95 inner half.
It's like he's fighting his location in this outing. Trying to go up, missing down, trying to go away, missing in.
Missed outside with a splitter, ball 2.
And when you have a pitcher going like this as a catcher, you try not to ask him to do too much. Keep him in one zone with one speed if you can to get him really locked in. If you ask him to go up and away, then down and in, then split, then slider, you're going to have a hard time finding that release point.
Grounded through the legs of Clement and down the line. And another run is in, and there are runners at second and third. It is 9-7.
Well, the Blue Jays defense has failed them at times this series. Be the second error on Clement. Watch him get off the base. It's got tailor-made double play written all over it, and his feet got a little bit stagnant right there, and that ball just kind of hopped up on him. You see him move. He kind of felt like he was making a move towards it. That ball's going to have a little bit of top and side spin on it. All Ernie had to do was caress it, touch first base, probably go to second base for the double play. But they have really given away some outs here. They're shooting themselves in the foot with their defense.
Normally, of course, one of the best defenders this
Absolutely.
team has, but it has been a tough day defensively for Clement. We don't have the score. Concede a run on a ground ball because they still have a 2-run lead. Outside, ball 1.
To be really careful with medium speed pitches in the zone to O'Hearn. If you're going medium speed, it's got to be for a ball.
Are you classifying the splitter as medium speed?
Yes, the slider, because they're in that 87, 88, 89 mile per hour range. That's kind of right in O'Hearn's natural kind of bat speed. You can get away with it if you speed him up. I like staying hard and away from him.
They appeal. He didn't go, and it is 3-0. Boy, it started with a pop-up, then an infield hit, then a bloop hit. Henderson with an RBI single, and then the Rutschman ball through the legs of Clement for a 2-base error to bring home another run. And that's ball 4, not close. And now if you're John Schneider, do you leave Rodriguez in to try to fight through this, or do you bring a rookie and Braden Fisher in with the bases loaded? I mean, how the vibe has changed. It was 9-5 and everything looked good, and now the Blue Jays are in a real spot here in the bottom of the 7th.
They're really having to fight for it. They got to dig deep. And I think Yariel has earned this spot. Find his way out of it. All it takes is one pitch in one zone, well-executed pitch, and he can wiggle right out of this jam.
Colton Cowser is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. And Yariel having trouble finding the strike zone.
He's going to have to get back to that fastball. It's just plain and simple. When he's at his best, he exudes confidence in that pitch, and I'm seeing him starting to fall back into that timid mindset. Get a heater over.
He has barely thrown it. And he doesn't get the call there. Ball 2. He threw 1 of 2 fastballs to Henderson. 1 of 4 to Rutschman was a fastball. None of the pitches to O'Hearn were a fastball. And neither were the first 2 to Cowser a fastball. There's a fastball, but he missed. 3-0, and he's a pitch away from walking in a run.
And he's lost his release point. That fastball has been so huge for him this season when he's really been on it. He's rearing back, and he's got a lot of attitude with that pitch. You can't be afraid of it if a couple guys put it in play. And now he's boxed in. He's totally boxed in.
Low ball 4. He's walked in a run, and it's 9-8. And here comes John Schneider. So that 4-run lead is down to 1, and the Blue Jays are still in a huge jam here as Braden Fisher will come in with the bases loaded. Six for 9 in the series, and that doesn't even mention the fact that he's had 2 home run robberies out in center field in this series. Rutschman is at third, O'Hearn is at second, and Cowser's at first. Infield in for the Blue Jays. There's another strike. That one at the knees, and it's 0-2. One of the things that you heard even back in spring training about Braden Fisher was his poise. Yes, he was just trying to make the team, a rookie who was barely on the radar back then, but he will need a lot of that here in this situation today. Ahead 0-2. Poked foul by Mullins.
I think that experience versus the Yankees was huge for him coming in at home. Huge crowd, huge moment. Being able to get out of that makes you think, I can do it. I've done it before. I can do it again.
Again, the 0-2. Very high with a fastball. Uses both the slider and the curveball more than he uses the fastball. Now the 1-2. High again, this time with a curve. And he wants a new baseball. And he has been trying to get the breaking balls down more than he's been able to. Not consistently up there, but there have been times he's left it up there, and he is working hard to try to correct whatever it is, a mechanical issue perhaps, to get that ball down more consistently. Ripped foul.
Got to get one short on the plate. And with his motion, it is a little bit harder to kind of get over that breaking ball, but a breaking ball short on the plate might do it.
2-2 again. Fouled off by Mullins. Again, this could be Cedric Mullins' last game as an Oriole. He could be traded, very likely will be traded between now and the deadline tomorrow. Wouldn't he love to go out in style here in front of the fans that he's played in front of for 8 years?
And you know that's on his mind. Huge spot, bases loaded. He's thinking of taking the lead.
2-2 again. Got him. A swing and a miss at a curveball down at the bottom of the zone. 2 down.
Well, Dan, you had mentioned him trying to get that breaking ball down to the bottom part of the zone. The one previously was good, but this one just had a second gear when it got close to home plate. Just super late life. You can see Mullins out in front. Huge, huge pitch by the youngster. That's going to draw pitching coach Pete Walker out just to make 100% sure. Him off slower. We'll see.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Down and away, ball 1. And that's in there. Slider that got plenty of the plate, 1-1. Checked the swing. They asked for an appeal, but he didn't go, and it's ball 2. Checked it again. This time he did not. They appeal, and the first base umpire, Brian Walsh, said he went around, so it's 2-2. Enough giddy up on the fastball that if you're sitting on the slider or the curveball, Laureano just could not hold up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And just off the corner with a slider. Now it's full with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
This is the game. Slider, 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 4-seam slider. I think he stays soft.
3-2 pitch. Fastball at 98, and Laureano had a pretty good hack at it, fouled it back.
I love that pitch. I said I thought he was going to stay soft, but I love that he reared back and pulled 98 out. And because he swung, that sets up a really nice possibility of going back up there or dropping another soft one underneath.
It's just amazing that a hitter, and this is why they're the best in the world, I mean, he knows the slider is the put-away pitch for Fisher, and it's not 92, the fastball. No. It's 98, and he still had a good hack at it.
In a perfect spot.
Laureano really battling here against Fisher. Again, the 3-2. Got him! A breaking ball that is called a strike by Vic Carapazza. May have been a little bit off the plate, but Fisher gets the call and gets a huge strikeout to end the inning.
Love that.
It is 9-8. It is just the top of the 8th. There's still a lot of baseball to be played here, as Joey Loperfido leads it off against Cade Stroud. The Blue Jays, assuming everybody's available, still have Sir Anthony Dominguez and Jeff Hoffman. But wouldn't they love more than a 1-run lead? They had a 4-run lead, but now it's down to 1. Loperfido fouls it off. Joey is 2 for 4 today, and it is indeed Sir Anthony Dominguez who looks like he will come in to work the bottom of the 8th. Well, he got thrown right into a race, didn't he? Got traded, and he's made, or is about to make, his second appearance in as many days against his old team. This is flared, shallow left center. It's going to drop, and it's a 3-hit day for Loperfido.
If you've got a good enough swing plane and path to the baseball, you can get hits like this even after being a little bit jammed. That's such an easy pitch from a left-handed hitter's perspective to roll over, but you can see him trying to stay through that baseball. Last year, he would have rolled that over, no question. Stays through it. Hopefully starts off another big inning. He did it in the 7th. He led off with a single in the 7th. Blue Jays sent 9 guys up, see if they can do it again.
The batter is Ernie Clement, 2 for 4. Henry would love another hit. Again, a tough day in the field for one of the best defensive players this team has, but he's committed 2 errors today. Does have 2 hits, a single and a double, and the single came last inning as well, a big part of that 4-run inning. Strike 2 call. Not a high leverage guy for the Orioles. Again, Stroud just in his 6th major league appearance. Just off the corner, maybe a low by a couple of inches, and it's ball 1. Guerrero on deck, Bichette behind him. And fouled off at the plate by Clement.
Been there so many times as a player. You don't execute a play on defense and you really just want to atone for it. He atoned for it in the 7th, continuing that big inning, but you want another crack at it. You just really want to continue to put that defensive miscue in the rearview mirror.
Ground ball up the middle. Henderson shovels to second. They'll get the lead runner. A nice stretch there by Holiday. So Loperfido is forced and Clement aboard on a fielder's choice.
Rogers Xfinity. Game-changing internet. Stream, share.
Eight Blue Jays, top of the 8th. 1 on, 1 out for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 2 for 4, with a single, a double, and an RBI. Guerrero saw Stroud on Monday night. He was the batter right after Springer got hit in the head. And that's when Stroud went into total breaking ball mode. And I know the cutter was a fastball, but it's a lot softer than his four-seamer. And he was just throwing cutter after cutter, down and away, down and away. He was shaken after hitting Springer. So Guerrero really hasn't seen him, you know, at his, hey, I'm coming after you mode, and maybe he's not even going to in this at bat. He's missed down and away twice.
Extra base hit would go a long way right here for the Blue Jays. Kind of give them a little bit more room for error.
3-0.
I was talking to some Oriole people about Stroud, and they said the mound visit included a conversation that said, hey, throw your off-speed pitches on the outer half, just work on that side, we'll get out of it, we'll reconvene and try and get you in a better space.
Well, he kept throwing the cutter. That one kind of backed up on him, but it finds the zone, 3-1.
He told reporters that was the first time he had ever hit anyone kind of above the shoulders, and ball totally slipped out of his hands. And of course, there was zero intent there, but sometimes those firsts can stick with you for a while.
Cutter down and away, ball 4. All right, so now you're Bo Bichette. You're in the on-deck circle. You know what happened Monday night. You just saw that at bat. What are you thinking about going to the plate?
Yeah, I think he's got to be really selective. I don't think that Stroud is going to come inside. We've seen some really aggressive swings from Bichette to the pull side. I love that. I think this is kind of one of those vintage Bichette approaches right here where he can really look in that right center gap. And they're giving him quite a bit of room out there in right center field. Probably sitting something medium speed, one of those cutter sliders, let it get deep, and just blast something to right center field.
Cutter, but in there for a strike, 0-1. Clement at second, Guerrero at first, 1 out here in the 8th. He might throw nothing but cutters just to the right-handed batters. Might be a little bit different when Addison Barger gets up there, but he might just stay with this game plan and hope maybe he can get a rollover ground ball.
I think that has a lot to do with it, trying to induce weak contact to the pull side.
Ooh, and there's a fastball, but as you can see, not close to where he wanted to throw it, and it's ball 2. And even that, if you're him and you hit Springer in the head on Monday night, even does that shake you up a little bit?
It is. It's so recent, and you've got to find a way to get over that and put that out of your mind. But if you care, it's hard to do that.
So back to the cutter. Bichette fouls it off 2-2.
And I think that's the hardest thing kind of in sports. We could see Giancarlo Stanton really flinching quite a bit 2, 3, 4 months after he took that baseball to the face in Milwaukee. And you have to have experiences to continue to get over it. But I guarantee you, when he threw that fastball that was up, he grabbed his pant leg. He was thinking about it.
2 on, 1 out. And the 2-2. That is foul over in the direction of Mark Budzinski, the first base coach. That cutter really backed up and was up and in, so some awkward contact. Unfortunately, Bud was able to get out of the way.
Looks like it might have had a little bit of English on it, and it was trying to find Budzinski, but he's nimble on his feet over there. What a great guy.
Again the 2-2. And again the cutter, 3-2. Lefty Keegan Aiken is up, and Addison Barger is on deck. So it looks like there will be a lefty-lefty matchup after this Bichette at bat. But here's another one of the, boy, this is a huge pitch coming in this game right now.
It's quiet in this stadium, but this is a huge moment in this game for the Blue Jays.
The 3-2. And bounce to the right side. There's one. Back to first. They turn the double play. A sensational 3-6-1 double play. Now, and this is a one-run game in a game that his new team really, really needs. Tyler O'Neill, all kinds of power, as you know. Pinch hitting for Alex Jackson to lead off the bottom of the 8th in what is still a one-run game. Boy, did the Blue Jays have an opportunity in the top half of the inning. An inexperienced pitcher in Stroud, who you could see was fighting it. But Bichette grounds into the 3-6-1 double play. And Bichette did have the 2-run single an inning before. But the Blue Jays still with just a 1-run lead here going to the bottom of the 8th. Sweating it out, literally and figuratively here in Baltimore. This is popped foul. Clement over for a look, but it's out of play. 1-2. So it'll be O'Neal, Jackson Holliday, and Jordan Westburg coming up for the Orioles here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-2. Got him. Inside corner at the knees. A little backup sweeper that didn't wind up maybe where he wanted it, but they get the call.
Probably trying to go down and away with the sweeper, but with this arm angle, sometimes as a right-handed hitter, when you see that ball, it comes right out at your front hip. Such an easy pitch to lock up. You see that waist kind of move out of the way from Tyler O'Neill. Got him to lock him up on the front hip sweeper.
One down, and now Jackson Holliday. Fastball in there at 98. Holliday's got a couple of hits in this game and has scored 2 runs. I'll tell you, I know it's hot, and there aren't a ton of people here, but man, is it quiet in this ballpark.
It is eerily quiet.
Yeah.
And their team's one swing away from tying it up.
Bounced weakly up the first baseline. It's coming back fair.
No way.
It's coming back fair, and that's an out. Unbelievable. And what a break for the Blue Jays there.
Wow. It's a split from Sir Anthony. Watch this ball. It bounces right in front of the plate and just hits the lip of the first baseline and just redirects right into the field of play. I guarantee you that's a 1 in a million type of bounce.
The Blue Jays will take it.
Yes, they will.
2 down, and here's Jordan Westburg, who's already homered in this game. He is 2 for 4.
Have you ever seen that? I've seen balls that have been spinning, cue shot balls that have spun back into fair territory, but that was clearly headed towards the dugout, made a left turn back into fair play.
At the lip of the grass. Used to seeing it, if you're going to see it, kind of go the other way from fair into foul.
Yes.
But 2-0. Holliday with some bad luck. The count in Westburg's favor with Gunnar Henderson on deck. A strike 2-1 right at the bottom of the zone. You can see Dominguez going into that splitter grip as he puts his hand into his glove, as all splitter pitchers do. Easier to change away from it than get to it. And then you can throw 98 at the knees and it's 2-2.
This stuff is electric. It's real. It's never been about stuff, always about location with Dominguez.
In the air down the right field line. Lucas coming over and won't get there. It'll bounce in foul territory. And it remains 2-2.
Uncomfortable at bat. I could just tell by looking at the long frame, the wide wingspan that he presents. It's a little bit of a lower arm slot. You got a pitch that runs, a sweeper that sweeps. Love what Arden said about that split. I love diving into that split. It's a very intriguing pitch to me. There's a lot going on with him.
2 down, the base is empty, a 1-run game. And again, the 2-2, and he got him. Strikes Westburg out, and a great inning for Sir Anthony Dominguez, paying immediate dividends. They pinch hit for their catcher, Alex Jackson. So Rutschman, who was the DH, is now catching. So they've lost their DH, but that's not their concern at the moment. As Addison Barger fouls off the first pitch he sees. It'll be Barger, Schneider, and Lucas for the Blue Jays here, top 9. It'll be Henderson, Rutschman, and O'Hearn for the Orioles, 3, 4, 5, bottom 9. Couple of strikes on Barger. And it'll be Jeff Hoffman.
Love to give him some cushion.
Barger strikes out, 1 down. Now Davis Schneider, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. Big swing and a miss, 0-1. High fly ball to center field, but not deep. Mullins right there, 2 down.
Kittredge with really tight spin on that slider from the TV screen. It's not going to look like it's moving very much, but it's so late and it's just enough to get off the barrel. Very good at tunneling.
Now Lucas, who's got the biggest hit of the game for the Blue Jays, a pinch hit 3-run homer back in the 7th. Takes a fastball for a strike. One and one. Hoffman, of course, was on the mound last night in the 9th inning and gave up the run that turned into the winner for the Orioles. And it was Henderson and Rutschman who each doubled off him, and he will face both of them here today. As Lucas hits a bouncer towards first, and the Blue Jays go quickly and quietly. And it is on to the bottom of the 9th here in Baltimore with the Blue Jays up by 1. and he will face Gunnar Henderson. Strike. Henderson has a couple of hits today, 2 singles. He's driven in a run. One ball, one strike. Shakes off Ali Sanchez once, now has the sign he's looking for. Wanted the slider again, and he missed up and away, ball 2. Fouled off, 2-2, and back to the fastball.
Good pitch, love that location. Down and away, that's the spot that really limits the damage versus Henderson. You take his eyes out there, now you can rush him up, you can follow it with a split. You've got some options.
The 2-2. Bounce to first, Clements got it. Hoffman over to cover, in time. And let's see if the Orioles challenge. Tony Mansolino looking back. They will not. That is out number 1.
No, it's too close for my liking. Would probably love Ernie to maybe take a couple more steps, see if he could gauge it. But Gunnar Henderson running right out of the box. Watch the toe of Hoffman just in there.
Out number 1. Now Adley Rutschman. And a fastball at the knees. It's 0-1. Clement kind of hugging the line over at first. They play Rutschman to pull on the infield. Splitter sails outside, a ball and a strike. Hoffman the set. And the 1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss right over the top of a down and in slider. 1-2. Sanchez the target. And the 1-2 pitch. In the air to left field. Playable for Joey Loperfido. 2 down.
Hoffman looks much more crisp and clean with his delivery, with his pitches, with his location. Sometimes as closers, if you take 4 or 5 days off, it takes you a minute to get rolling. He's looked good, but it's not over yet. A lot of power in the bat of O'Hearn.
1 out away. O'Hearn homered in the first. He's 1 for 3 with a walk overall. And he'll look at his strike. Boy, Sanchez very demonstrative behind the plate with what he's doing with his hands. What is he telling Hoffman?
Take a breath, breathe, relax. We're good. Trying to relieve some of that stress, some of that pressure. Used to do that. Or he could be signaling, let's make sure it's down. I think it's more of like, hey, take a breath. We're good. We got time. Just make sure you execute, focus.
It is 0-2 on Ryan O'Hearn with 2 down in the 9th. Inside with a slider, ball 1. Hoffman right back on the rubber and looking into Sanchez. He's got his sign. The 1-2 pitch. Down low, it's 2-2. He has not shown him a fastball yet. Splitter, splitter, slider, splitter so far in the at-bat to O'Hearn.
And if he does, it's going to look like 107 coming from the long, lanky frame of Hoffman. There's a chance to go up out of the zone with it. And if you want to come back soft, that's fine.
2-2 the count. And the pitch. Just outside. And another 50-50 pitch that could have gone either way. This one goes the Orioles' way, and it's 3-2. So the 3-2. Got him! A swing and a miss to get him. And the Blue Jays find a way to win this game here in Baltimore as Jeff Hoffman delivers 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 9th. And they snap that 4-game losing streak by winning the finale here today, 9-8.
There's so many games in July that we have looked at each other, Dan, and said, it's just too easy. It's too easy. They're winning games. They're having great starting pitching. They're really doing it on offense. The bullpen's coming in. This was anything but. This was an absolute war out there. And you never like to say season-saving wins, but it just felt like there was a lot of weight on this type of game. After coming off the tough loss in Detroit, losing 3 straight here in Baltimore, they found a way to lift that weight.
Don't forget the home run by Lucas. Don't forget the job out of the pen by Little, Lou Hardy, Fisher, Dominguez.
Huge.
9-8 Blue Jays, the final. Let's go to Blue Jays Central. Jamie and Madison are in the Home Hardware Studio.